Warriors, rise! You better pay attention, Warriors. I believe we have a bull run coming. Listen, I'm going to show you facts, figures, numbers, logic, as I always do. And today, Waters Above and I are going live at 12 o'clock Arizona time to give you more information about April. Now, remember, as they tell you to look this way, there's a whole nother narrative going on this way. But first, my name is Coach JV. I am the top health, mindset, and crypto coach in the world. What you believe in your heart, you think in your mind, will eventually become your words and become your reality. If you can see it in your mind, eventually you can hold it right here in your hands. What you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mind. What gets ingrained in your subconscious mind becomes the unconscious activities that you're experiencing within your physical reality. What I started to do is reprogram my subconscious mind, and I started to look this way, and I did the complete opposite of what they were saying. And that completely changed my financial future. Now I'm living a free life, and I teach people that in our private Warrior Academy with access to over 13 of my team members, technical analysis team. We now have day trading in there, how to do nodes, access to my portfolio, exit strategy, passive income in cryptocurrency, and my revolutionary 120-day challenge to help you get your shit together, showing you exactly how I created my heart, brain coherence, and my money mindset. 3twarrioracademy.com. All right, so let's jump right into it, Warriors. Let's get down. Okay, so first we're going to watch this video. I'm going to take myself off the screen and make it a little bit bigger here, and then I'll come back on the screen as we go into the articles. So first, I'm going to show you a video from 2017. This was November 30th, 2017. It's an interview with two gentlemen, one of them being the CEO of Goldman Sachs. And there was a big announcement yesterday, which we broke that news on the Ken Mack and Coach JV show, around Goldman Sachs did their first Bitcoin trade, the first U.S. bank to do a Bitcoin trade. Listen to what he says. This is the type of research I do. This is how I make my investments. I listen to what they say, and I try to figure out where they're taking us. So listen to what he said in 2017. So this first gentleman is not the CEO, but he'll come up in just a moment.
Small businesses and businesses in general, when do they have to have a Bitcoin strategy? Mike?
Not in our lifetime.
For real? Really?
Bitcoin is not, forget about whether you think it's a fraud, whether you think it's a game and tulip bulbs or not. The small businesses have to worry about how they're going to attract 5 people to produce a product, how they're going to figure out how to sell it and keep the door open and clean up at the end of the day. Small businesses are where the rubber meets the road. They're not dealing in extensive financial transactions. They're dealing in trying to create products that people want to buy. And it's one person selling to one person, much more so than all of the things we talk about.
So let's broaden that out, Lloyd. You have not rejected or endorsed Bitcoin, no. Okay? But when does Goldman have to have a Bitcoin strategy?
Okay, so this is key. So this is the CEO of Goldman Sachs. Now, the gentleman before talked about small businesses are focused on survival. Absolutely. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a pandemic and have you look this way. We're going to literally crush small businesses as we pack our bags in the new quantum financial system.
Have to have it?
Yeah.
Not today. I mean, I said when. I'd say life must be really, really rosy. If this is
boom, let's listen to that again. This is the type of things I re-listen to over and over again. Not now. Life must be really, really rosy. And then we're going to watch exactly what they're doing. So they're telling us that life is really, really rosy. You don't think they're rubbing shoulders with the Federal Reserve? Well, we'll take a look at that.
I said when. I'd say life must be really, really rosy if this is what we're talking about. It just feels...
This is what Wall Street's talking. Okay, so I was talking I was talking to Jeff Curry over at Goldman the other day, and he said the only thing that people are asking him are Bitcoin and EVs. So you're a huge investment bank. You have to be thinking
really
about
rosy
this.
If this is... Yes, I'm thinking about it because I get asked about it.
He said it again. Life must be really rosy for us to be investing in it. War with Ukraine doesn't feel like in your physical reality life is rosy, but in the banking system, in the new quantum financial system, they're telling you that life is rosy now. And guess what? We're going into it.
I said, look, where I am is it's not for me, but there's a lot of things that weren't for me in the past that worked out very well. If you told me that if it was 20 years forward and it worked out, I could tell you why it worked out. But based on everything I know, I'm not guessing that it will work out. But I can't say, I'm not going to stand there and be strident and say it's a fraud. It can't, because it might.
Alex, I think also people confuse Bitcoin with BitChain. There is a blockchain. There is a technology where you can have different accesses to data. Different people can control it. You can see who's doing what and that sort of thing. And there are places where that is a useful thing. In fact, the Bloomberg system is a blockchain. We just, instead of having the users control it, we control it, but it has all the attributes of that. Bitcoin is something very different. Bitcoin, and there's a whole bunch of cryptocurrencies that have been started every day. You have a new one. That's something very different. And whether or not the governments of the world will lose control of monetary policy, I'm skeptical. They're just not going to let that happen, and they shouldn't.
Something that moves up and down 20% in a day doesn't feel like a current, doesn't feel like a store.
And it's just being quoted up and down. I don't think there's no value.
Maybe not a currency, but Jeff Curry told.
Okay, Key. He just said, you heard it from his mouth, the CEO of Goldman Sachs, that it doesn't feel like a store of value. So let's fast forward to 2022. Listen to what they say and do the opposite. Goldman Sachs on January 6th. Now I'm going to take you through the predictive programming on January 6th. Let me bring myself back on the screen so you can see my handsome, devastatingly handsome face. So Goldman Sachs predicts Bitcoin could hit 100,000. This is January 2022. Bitcoin prices have pulled back lately, but Goldman Sachs still sees strong gains ahead in the coming years. The world's most valuable cryptocurrency has fallen to 43,000 after surging to a record high, now around 69,000. Yet Goldman Sachs said that the report this week that Bitcoin could be more doable, could be more than doable to hit over 100,000. We think that Bitcoin's market share will most likely rise over time as a byproduct of a broader adoption of digital assets. Okay, the co-head of global foreign exchange rates and emerging markets for strategy for Goldman Sachs. Pandil argues that Bitcoin will increasingly steal the market share from gold. Interesting. But he just said we don't see it as a store of value in 2000. Now, lots changed since 2017. I get that. I get that, Warriors. But now he said life needs to be rosy. So is he telling us that now life is rosy because on March 8th, Goldman Sachs offering ETH fund to its clients through Galaxy Digital. The bank is introducing crypto-curious clients to Galaxy Institutional Ethereum Fund, the SEC documents show. So the very SEC that's regulating the living shit out of cryptocurrency, that has an SEC lawsuit against Ripple that is going to change the frame of our banking system through distributed ledger technology, is allowing ETH funds to be issued by Galaxy Digital according to regulator documents filed with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission on that Tuesday. So they told you now, he said it needs to be rosy in 2017. Boom, it must be smelling rosy because they're predicting $100,000 Bitcoin. They're saying it might be a better store of value than gold. Then they allow you to invest in Ethereum fund. And then breaking news yesterday, March 21st, 2022, Goldman Sachs and Galaxy Digital announced milestone over-the-counter crypto trade. Goldman is the first major U.S. bank to trade crypto over-the-counter. CNBC was the first to report this. Coach JV was the second. Just kidding. I don't know if I was. The bank traded a Bitcoin-linked instrument called non-deliverable options with crypto merchant bank Galaxy Digital, the firm said. The move seems to be a notable step in a development of crypto markets for institutional investors. Compared with the exchange-based CME Group Bitcoin product Goldman Sachs began to trade last year, the bank is taking a great risk by acting as a principal in the transaction, according to the firm. But great risk. You don't think these two dudes think this stuff out? You don't think they're connected to the government? You don't think that they have people in high places? Well, let's deep dive this again. 26 Goldman Sachs alumni who run the world. I highly recommend. I showed this article to you guys last week. I think my audio was a little messed up. These are 26 people across the globe. Treasury, Mnuchin, former Goldman Sachs. Go through this. Go through this, Warriors. James Dovin, the last addition to the Treasury Department. Deputy of Treasury, Steve Mnuchin, right? He spent 25 years at Goldman Sachs. The Fed. It breaks down the people in the Fed who came from Goldman Sachs. Congress, people who came from Goldman Sachs. Miscellaneous people scattered throughout Washington came from Goldman Sachs. Central banks, ECB, people came from Goldman Sachs. The governments, people came from Goldman Sachs. It brings up 26 people that came from Goldman Sachs, Warriors. So you don't think that Goldman Sachs is communicating with the SEC, the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, Gary Gensler, before they make these massive moves? You don't think they're sitting there drinking their brandy, sitting at a bar in a high place in Washington going, okay, here's the next move we're going to make, right? We got this Russia and Ukraine narrative. We're going to shut down the SWIFT system. We're going to bring in the new distributed ledger technology. We're going to have a bunch of cyber attacks. Here's now you're going to start getting into Bitcoin. We're going to start moving our money into Bitcoin and Ethereum. We're going to say Bitcoin's a great store of value. What we're going to do is we're going to pack our bags like we've been doing. We dump the market on them. We packed our bags. Now we have our bags packed. What we're going to do is we're going to blast the value through the roof, and then we're going to pull the plug on them again. And then we're going to build the new monetary system. And then within 10 years, you're going to have a completely different monetary system. Well, shit, within 5 years, Warriors. But I'm showing you facts, figures, numbers, logic. He said back here, when life is rosy, look at that smile. When life is rosy, well, guess what? It must be rosy because they're deep in it. And they were the first U.S. bank to do an over-the-counter crypto trade. So I'm watching their actions, not what they're saying back here, right? Well, I guess what I'm saying is, listen to what he's saying. When it's rosy, this guy over here is like, Bitcoin's a fraud, man. But they're all investing in it, Warriors. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. So I just don't listen to a word they say. I watch what they're doing. What they say, I do the opposite. So this is from Goldman Sachs site right here. Goldman Sachs Bank USA, London, branch disclosure. Goldman Sachs USA Bank, London disclosure. Goldman Sachs Banks US is an authority and regulated by the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System. The FDIC and the New York State Department of Financial Services, Goldman Sachs Bank USA, London branch is authorized by a Prudential Regulation Authority and is subject to regulation by the Financial Conduct Authority and limited regulation by the Prudential Regulation Authority. Details about the extent, you can look it up on their website. So you don't think they're communicating with the FDIC, the Federal Reserve, the SEC before they make these moves, like doing a Bitcoin trade, Warriors, and you're believing that cryptocurrency is a fraud. You're letting your neighbor and your barber and your person at the nail salon tell you that cryptocurrency is fraud. Yes, Warriors. Yes, Warriors. There is a lot of FUD out there. There's a lot of bullshit out there. There's a lot of people going to get wrecked. That's why I'm so methodical and so careful which companies I invest in, which cryptocurrencies I even talk about. That's why I share exactly what's in my portfolio. For example, I'm going to be introducing you guys to the NFT project that I'm part owner of, that I built. We built and vetted ourselves. We built it ourselves so we could be responsible for it, which is Collecti Labs. I'm going to, be announcing that to you guys on Wednesday. Selma and I are going to be going live. Whereas I'm very serious about this. This is the greatest time in human history. This is the greatest time in human history. And I highly recommend you jump on with Waters Above and I coming up at 12 o'clock today. Not only do we have a massive announcement about our spiritual program, but he's going to talk about April. There's a lot of things coming up April in the spiritual world. Remember, we are deep in the Shemitah right now, Warriors. We're deep in the Shemitah and you're seeing it matches up perfectly. We're going through one of the inflations through the roof. As you sit and you're just over broke right now, your paycheck is going down every second the gas prices go up. Think about that. Have you ever thought about it that way? As you sit there and you're just over broke, making $60 an hour, every time gas prices go up and food prices go up, and every time you put your foot on the gas, you literally get a paid deduction. So if you don't learn how to create passive income and make money 24 hours a day while you sleep, and this is the greatest time in human history to do that, you will never be free. You will always be trapped. So I'm living by example. I'm living a freedom lifestyle, and I want to help teach you how to do that. And you do that through investing your money, Warriors, through taking your hard-earned money and multiplying it over and over again. You should never work for money. Money should work for you. You should never work for money. Money should always work for you, Warriors. You should always be multiplying. Cash is trash right now. I have almost zero cash in my bank account. If you looked at my bank account, if you look at work at the bank, go look at my bank account. I've got very little cash in my bank. As soon as money comes in, boom, it goes into assets, right? I'm building businesses. I'm buying equity in businesses. I'm getting equity in businesses. When somebody approaches me with an idea and I know, like, and trust, and I vet it, I want equity in that company. I want equity in that company, Warriors. I'm not looking for the get rich quick. I'm looking for the long-term generational wealth building things. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. You know the drill. You can go to 3twarrior.com. You can check out everything we do. I highly recommend you check out 3twarrioracademy.com. Get to know, like, and trust us. Before you even join the academy, click the description down below. Join our free Discord. Join our free Facebook group. Join the free Discord. That'll give you a lot of value, and you can see the type of team we have. Whereas you get access to my 13 team members in our Warrior Academy. We're adding day trading in there. We have day trading. We have passive income. We have 130 cryptocurrency courses. What is crypto? How to do it? Example, access to my portfolio. I'm actually revamping my whole portfolio section to build out my wealth building strategy. So it's very clear. It's kind of jumbled because we've been building this, but I'm going to make it very clear on what I do. I'm very honest with you guys, what I do. I'm not bullshitting you. I'm learning and growing with you guys. That's the difference. Right? I'm sharing everything that I'm doing. If you listen to my podcast this week, Warriors, the Coach JV podcast, I literally talk about my finances. And people will be like, that's too much information. At some point, you're going to be able to look all this shit up. At some point, you'll be able to see my net worth. And why hide from it? This is what I'm doing. This is what I've grown. I was broke 3 years ago, and now I'm living a freedom lifestyle. Okay? So it's better just to be honest, just better to be transparent and take people on the journey. If you choose to watch it like a car crash, or you choose to join it and become free like we've done in the Warrior Academy, the choice is yours. I love you. I appreciate you, but I want to let you know that I love you. Warriors, get your shit together. I'm going to go get mine together. Goodbye.